Welcome, everyone, and glad to have you all here. I hope you are enjoying the conference so far, and I hope that you all went in both today, too. So our speaker this afternoon is Tong Kim. He is an associate professor of industrial design in the Department of Art and Design here at Purdue. Prior joining the academia, he worked for more than 18 years as a design leader, delivering leading edge products and business solutions at corporation, and also working as a consultant. He has so many design awards and also has more than 50 US patents. And his research interest is in the commercialization of design and building design platforms and communities to help students to develop their own products. And today, he will present a talk titled Makerspace, Micromanufacturing, Maker Education Movements, Design Communication Platform. Please, everyone take a moment to silence your device. Remember that audio and recording is not allowed, but you are able to tweet.
Okay, thank you. Hi, guys. So my name is TJ Kim. Actually, she spelled out my full name, Tong Kim. But you can just call me TJ if you meet me in the hallway in the future. So makerspace. Are you familiar with the makerspace? How many of you guys heard of a makerspace? Okay, that's actually a surprise. Makerspace, and micromanufacturing. How about micromanufacturing? Oh, 1, 2, okay, good. How about maker education? 1, 2, okay. So it's a new movement, that's happening actually throughout the world. And it actually started in the US. I don't know, so I'm going to talk about that. Before I talk about it, who am I, my American dream? I came to US when I was senior in the high school. In the picture, that's me. At the time, I did not have any dream because I did not speak a word of English at the time. That was actually about 25 years ago. Now I'm speaking, standing here, in front of you guys, and teaching you guys, in the classrooms. It's so amazing. How did that happen? At the time, I was so afraid to talk to anyone, and I didn't know how to really make friends. And the interesting thing, here in the picture, I'm bigger actually than now. The reason is that I was working hard. Everyone told me that if I work out hard, I'm gonna start making friends. And no. So how I made friends, I started joining the clubs. I started making friends by meeting people. And by meeting people, I learned a lot. And by learning from other people, I was able to achieve things. And by the time when I was graduating, I was one of the award winner, a 4 out of 1 winner, from the school. We had a really small class, we had about 60 people graduating. I was in the top 10, because we had a small class graduating. So it wasn't too hard. However, 25 years after, I was working for the industry for about 18 years, and I was designing about 300 products and 60 patents, and I won about 30 international awards. That's a lot of numbers, yes. And just recently, I decided to join Purdue University. That was 5 years ago. And talking about numbers, I was actually making about $150,000 a year. And coming to Purdue, I had to take 40% off from my paycheck. I'm like, wow, that's a hard decision to make. How and why did I do that? There are reasons. So I'm going to talk about the reasons. Now I actually teaching at Purdue University, and we keep emphasizing on thinker, innovator, and maker. And that's relating to what I'm going to talk about today, the makerspace, micromanufacturing, and the maker education. So I'm a designer, innovator, entrepreneur, and educator, and now I'm a maker. I'm trying to make changes. That's what it is. Oftentimes, when we say makers, we build things. Yes, that's a maker. But another meaning of maker, we are trying to change, constantly trying to make a change, making difference to the world. That's another meaning of maker. So what I have been doing as a research is building design community platforms, different type of platforms. What is community platforms? It's about creating like a new system and a new culture. That's what it's about. So how did I start this? I had the opportunity to join this organization called NFT. What is NFT? Network for Teaching Entrepreneurship. It's actually based in Chicago. At the time, I was still working for the company as a design director. And I told you, I designed about 300 products. But I was sort of getting bored with my job. And if there are some adults here, you know what that means. Like you're working for the industry for a long time, and like it seems like you achieved a lot, but still, like there's something missing. So I decided to volunteer my time joining this platform, like NFT. I decided to donate my talent and time. So outside my company, like a role, I actually joined this platform and helped out other people. I met this guy, Anthony. So this is the guy I met through the platform. And I'm going to ask you, like there's a girl sitting in front of me, in front of him here. Guess who that is? Huh? You guys are so smart. Yes, that's his daughter. And he had his child when he was 13 years old. So he was like a child that we call problem child. Like when he was living south side of Chicago, and his grade, like he got F in all the classes. Not only that, he actually joined the gangster, and like he had like some bad things done. But he actually decided to change after he had like his own daughter, to change his life. So when I met him, like we went through this product development process, like how to make your dream into reality. We talked about his idea. He had his own daughter. And he found out that his daughter does not like to bite on the thermometer. But from the research observation, he found out that she loves to bite on the pacifier. So what if we combine both? A thermometer that kids love to use. And he had this idea, of course, he didn't have the skill set. So I donated my talent, that skill I have, how to visualize the concept the person has, and how to even make it into a product solution. So we came up with this solution. Not only that, we found out that from our research, most of people don't really understand meaning of the numbers. 99.9, what does it mean? Do you guys know what that means? Yeah? What is the normal temperature then? Yeah? So do you really know the difference of the numbers? Like, no. So what if the LED light just like it tells you, it's, take your child to the hospital. Yeah, it's just that easy. Like you don't have to understand the numbers, the numerical numbers to understand what that means. Crazy thing happened. He got invited to like a White House to meet with the President Obama. And he actually received like this award from President Obama. Not only that, after receiving the award for the recognition, he got into Cornell University with the full scholarship. That's amazing. Like a student who had F throughout the whole like school year, and like now he was able to get into the Cornell University with the full scholarship. And I realized that like, wow, this is great. Like this is so meaningful. I want to do more of that. So still, I was working for the industry. Like it's in 2013. Like, I want to create my own platform. That was someone else, like a platform that created by someone else. I joined the platform. I actually had the opportunity to like participate. However, what if I can create my own platform? So I did. That was called D-Gate. So D-Gate, like the person on the right side was my boss. At the time, I had to tell him that, like, see, I have this dream to change the world, dream to change the education system. So what if we are like a company, like offering product design to other companies? We make these people millionaires. What if we do that to our own kids? What if we bring that to the school system? So we decided to volunteer our time, and the Beyond Design Northwestern and the Network Host Element decided to collaborate. We started offering this class. So it got big. Like it got bigger. The people in the city heard about it. Like we had a big presentation about this Dig 8. What is Dig 8? Through this Dig 8 program, we actually created a product called Elephant Hook. And it's a product designed by kids, from their own imagination. Because from our research, we found out that the kids don't like to hang their clothes on the hanger. They just throw it on the floor or put it on the chair. What if we can teach them the right behaviors by making it fun to hang the clothes? So this was their idea. We actually helped them to implement this idea, working with the local manufacturer. Through Kickstarter, we raised about $20,000, online and offline, actually. On Kickstarter, we raised about $15,000. Offline, we sold another $5,000. What's amazing about this platform is that this all happened in 8 weeks plus a month. What is that? 3 months of time from the development to launch of the product. That happened in 3 months. Can you actually make $20,000 in 3 months? No. Even myself, I cannot do that. It's amazing, the kids are able to make that happen, through this program. And after this program, this became a program, for the school, a regular class program. And it spread to another school and another school. It's being practiced at 3 other schools. So it's run by the parents now, not by the company. And the parents always looking for the people to collaborate, local companies and local manufacturers. That's the system of Dig 8. So what happened afterward? 5 years ago, I left the company. So I came to Purdue. I want to start all over. Okay, Dig 8, that was great. I want to start something new. This time, we worked on HopeWorks, design lab for low-income community. We start really small, meaning that we started teaching 3D printing at a local church south side of Chicago. And he is the Tony. He is a barber, local. He works for local barber shop, and he actually wanted to learn 3D printing. And our workshop was successful in a way. We had about 10 volunteers coming. But it was not successful because we only had 3 participants. So we wanted to do something good for our community. But however, we didn't have the right message. So this was the part of the workshop. We had so many volunteers, but we had 3 participants. So it was successful in a way because we got people's attention, but in a way it wasn't successful because we didn't achieve much. So Making Hope Happen is another platform that I started in Korea. I spoke about this in Korea, at TEDx event, Google Campus Seoul. And it was great. Everyone's wow, that's awesome. That's a great story. However, at the end, a student, one of the students sitting in the audience, asked me a question. So, Professor Kim, that's amazing. So have you done anything for the country of Korea? I'm no. Are you thinking about doing anything like this in Korea? No, I have not thought about it. I felt a guilt in my heart. I was oh my God, this. I didn't know how to react to the question. So what? My reaction is, then let's make that happen. So I connected with the judge, one of the judge in Korea, who happens to take the cases of the students with the criminal records. He's the special famous judge for that. And I met him, and through him I met a lot of students. So these students had dreams, like dreams to build, to change the world. So we actually went through this entrepreneurship workshop and trying to develop the product ideas. I'm gonna talk about this. It was great, but this is a workshop, meaning that it's a short-term education, not a long-term education. Guess what? Nothing has really happened afterward. But we actually developed this program. Actually, one of the person in the picture is standing back there. He's actually flied all the way from Korea, not for this event, but we got other things going on. But he came here 2 days ago. And we met, and we actually started offering this class to the local community, the schools, the kids in the high school with the criminal records. And I'm going to talk about this another makerspace platform for low-income community down in Indianapolis. I was there this morning with a visitor from Korea as well. What is Ruckus Indy? You can go to ruckusindy.com to find out more information about this place. So it's a makerspace, like a community makerspace down in Indianapolis. What's happening down there? And it's me in the picture. I'm volunteering my time. And here, Eric, he's a developer. He's also volunteering his time. And here, the name does not trigger. She's not here, so it's okay. She's actually works for the city, like a fundraiser for working for the city. And Consuela is a maker, a resident maker. And we are partners over this makerspace. What's happening there? It's a factory. It's a factory space of 8,000 square feet. And we have a lot of makers in there, residents. We have about 35 residents, building things, making things, starting their own companies. And they do this as a not as a hobby, but a second job, because they have a bigger dream. They want to build a company. And what we have been offering is that how do we integrate technology into their process? She's an artist. She actually been carving things, beautiful shapes, patterns, and she's been doing this with her hand and this analog tool. So she upgraded herself to Dremel tool, but that's not good enough. So we brought actually CNC machine. So what if she can micro-manufacture her artworks? So she can actually create patterns in the digital tablet, and we can take the data to the CNC machine, and she can carve out probably 20, 50 a day. She's selling this each piece for actually $500. So maybe she can make a whole lot of money, or she can offer her product. If we call art as a product, she can sell. She can offer this for cheaper price to many people. So everyone benefit by integrating technology. So we are growing. We started at the 8,000 square feet, in September of 2016. And we have a second place now at 12,000 square feet. That was 2017, actually. We are still building the place. So it's actually growing. So what is the difference between the makerspace and micro-manufacturing? Makerspace is great for learning and developing your idea. Micro-manufacturing is about small mass production using the technology-based tools. We have a lot of this type of application tools that we can use now. And using these tools, we can actually do small mass quantity production. So what's great about that? Everything happens here at a local place. We don't have to worry about sending the data to China and make it in China and bring it here. You know, something interesting. Anyone have interest in entrepreneurship, making product? Yes? Yes? Wow, so many people. Do you know how much the product cost? Okay, if the product cost is A, 1/3 of the cost is in the shipping. Okay, another 1/3 of the cost is in the labor. And the true cost of the product, like development, is 1/3. What if we can reduce the shipping cost and the labor cost? And I know some people worrying about, like, yeah, it's going to take over my job. I'm going to lose my job. Let's talk about that later. No. Downward doom. Yeah, we are seeing the doom happening. Like, we're going to lose our job. I talk about this. Your jobs are not getting replaced. Your tasks are getting replaced. So you still have your job. Your task will be changed. That's what it is. So we don't have to worry about losing a job. Okay? So I started another platform. This is my latest platform, like a Wonder Makerspace. A makerspace for K-12. What if we can make this as part of the education system? What if we can actually do hands-on, experiential learning in the school? Instead of reading the books, memorizing what it's telling you in the books. And in the book, it tells me that how the 3D printer works. We never have opportunity to use a 3D printer, but it tells me how to use it. Is that really education? So a lot of the learning we have is it tells us we are not experiencing yet. We are just taking other people's experience and knowledge we are putting into our head. That's a lot of education that's happening in the school environment. What if we can change that? We bring the makerspace to the school. So I was lucky that I got funded by IMAC. They get sponsored by funded by the state, and they found me. It's interesting story how they found me. Do you remember the failure story that I had? I was doing the maker education, 3D printing education at a local church. It was a failure. There was an article written about it, and there was a guy, director of IMAC, Ron. He read the article. TJ, what if I give you money to grow this? And he did. So I'm not going to say how much, but he did. So I was able to bring this to school. WonderLab is a design tech lab for community. So our goal is to make the technology-based tools, making tools to be integrated, accessible every day. What if you have this something called makerspace? I'm going to show you what it is. At school, to access every day. At kindergarten school or the elementary school. This is my son. This was about 5 years ago, 6 years ago. I started thinking about this, how I can change improve the education when I had my own son. I'll be honest with you. Before I had my own son, I never thought about changing the education at all. It's not my story. It's someone else's story. I don't care. But I realized that there's something we need to do because things are changing. Technology is changing dramatically. But the way we've been teaching the kids has not been changed much. So what can we do? And this is interesting. My son, he made this last year. I'm what is it? It's a little rubber band gun with the Lego. I'm how did you make that? He watched that on YouTube. He saw it on YouTube. He actually made 2 of them because he wanted to have it in 2 hands, whatever. So I'm that's not good. Don't play with these weapons. Okay, put it down. Put it down and let's play with something better. And we are. So started building this makerspaces. Actually, I collaborated a business school and we built it this small lab within the Stewart Center and we have a lot of different tools in there and these tools are for you guys to access. And not only that, my son's school, which is a Bonnet Creek Elementary School, in West Lafayette. This was the first makerspace that I helped to build, at a local school environment. What if we have? They had a computer room. What if let's take all the things out from the computer room and then make it into makerspace? Why? We can have an iPad instead of a computer. In old days, we had this big monitor and the big computer. It took a lot of space. Okay. Now, like we can replace these computers with like a laptop, and like we can have something else. What can we bring to the like a space, a maker space? So I went there, like offered this class, like to the school kids. This is what they created after 3 weeks of like training. I'm like, whoa, you guys are crazy, like better than some of my students. Because my students cannot, like, I mean, unless like they really like, unless they worry about the grade, they won't do it. So they were like really having fun. Like this kid here, like built a dragon. I'm like, wow, why did you create a dragon? Like out of so many things out there, like, so I realized that like this technique can be integrated into like a liberal art. I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later. But what I have been realized that is that after this event, like I built another one in Sunnyside Elementary, like down in Indianapolis. I taught 120 students throughout the whole day. My students also told them, like, realize that it's one time, like, learning. There's no such here, like a long-term, like a sort of a learning process in this. So this is the other one, Sunnyside Elementary School. Like, yeah, we built another makerspace. But realize that like this is not really sustainable model. Like just having the space doesn't mean anything. So this is actually interesting. Like the process here, methodology. The big kids here are like have you heard of Purdue Polytech High School? We taught Purdue Polytech High School students, and they came to this elementary school and teaching the kids. So I am missing the picture. Like they actually are teaching the third grade, the elementary school kids. So this is the concept of makers teaching other makers. So this is another one just opened up like just last month. So you guys know where the Subaru manufacturing is. Okay, have you been there? Tour? Have you done the tour? This will be actually now the part of the tour. So we have like a space, like a robotics education, and we have the virtual reality, the drawing station, and the 3D printing station. So they're gonna have like a 3 rotational, like the education, 30 minutes each. The students visiting there, like they have about 5,000 students visiting there every year. So they will go through virtual reality sketching and robotics assembly and the 3D printing, like building a physical object, and they can design a car. How cool is that? Like if you have a field trip out to like this manufacturing facility and you have this great learning experience. So we provided this, like the space. They actually, they own the space. So I don't know, like yeah, like I don't own the space. Like so they are the ones who will be actually utilizing this space to offer this a new education. So what is WonderLab? Like the makerspace education. Like we want to teach the kids like design making and the product design and even business model design. We have the Professor Matthew is like specialist, like his specialty is in like how to create a business. So like we are like have a complete education through this the platform, and create like instruction materials. Like we want to we want to empower the teachers. We want to give these materials to the teachers, so they can actually find out like how to teach our students differently compared to what they are doing now. So this is growing. That's the exciting part, building a global platform. This is like amazing. Like, I mean, I didn't know this was going to happen. So we started building this mobile makerspace in Korea. So like we can actually offer this program to more schools. Like so they can take this mobile makerspace from class to class. So more students can enjoy this like a maker education. But not only that, like Tong, like over there, like he helped us build this makerspace, mobile makerspace. So we have a Busan Makerspace Center. He's like running this center in Busan. But in China, like we built another Wonder Design Lab like in 2017, like at like 10,000 square feet. And now, like I just came back from China like 2 weeks ago, not too long ago. And by the way, I'm making another trip like tomorrow. No. So 2 days later, like I'm making another trip. So this new building, like they're like, wow, we love the concept of a maker education, maker space. We'll give you the building. I'm like, wow, you guys are crazy. So I'm gonna have to go back to China in December to finish putting the makerspace into this space. So we are gonna actually work with the Oracle. You guys know Oracle, like they do a lot of coding education. And there will be actually new maker education we will be offering, like including coding and like robotics. So not only that, in Busan, like the Korea, the one maker town powered by Wonder EDU. Oh my God, these guys are crazy. Every time I go there, like they're like keep on expanding my the vision and like growing the vision. I'm like, okay, let's do it. Why not? So this is actually going to happen like in 2019. And the maker town will be 70,000 square feet. Like we'll actually have one of the place as a Wonder maker space within the town. But their goal is that I talked to the city mayor of Busan. The goal is to create a Busan smart city. Wow, that's actually crazy. But why not? So this is a sort of a latest update that I have, but it's growing. It's growing actually. We have 15 partners in global, 3 different countries. And by 2020, we're expecting about 30 partners. So you should be proud that this all happened at Purdue University. And but this is I want to talk about our vision, future visions, what is smart maker education. So I talked about maker education, but we are actually making a change, new transition from the traditional maker education. We are actually making transition to smart maker education. I'm like, yeah, that's just a name. What's been changed? Nothing's been changed. It's just a name. So how can we innovate the way we teach the students, preparing? Have you guys heard about fourth industrial revolution? What does it mean? I don't know the meaning, actually. Okay, that's cool. Yes?
Like digitizing traditional industries, like manufacturing and stuff, putting smart technology in there to collect data.
That's awesome. So how do we teach the students differently now?
Making technology more mainstream learning, I think.
Gee, you're smart. It took me about 5 years to figure that out. Okay, but here's the thing, liberal art. How can we change the way we teach the kids? Liberal art. What if we read the books, just like what we do in the liberal art education in the kindergarten, okay? We read the story. There's a lot of imagination that happens. What if we sketch them, sketch note? We draw the characters. What if we build the characters using the Play-Doh? What if we scan the Play-Doh, and we digitalize it, and do 3D print, and telling a story? So are we learning 3D printing, or are we learning liberal art?
Yeah.
Both. That is it. Right now, the traditional maker education, we're focusing on teaching the technique. Okay. What if we can integrate the technology in our normal education? So, that's cool. Yeah. Do you have another example? I'm going to talk about another example. Archaeology. What if the archaeologists, when they actually discover something, they 3D scan, and we create a digitalized object, and we create a museum. So, wearing the virtual reality device, I can visit the museum in India, Inca, Peru, Maya. I can walk through these museums, virtual museums. Not only that, what I see in the picture, I can 3D print, and I can have it in my hand, and I can actually learn about the artifact that's discovered in my hand. Why? How is it possible? Because 3D printers is everywhere. So what do we do with the 3D printers? What do we do with the virtual reality device? That is the point of this education, not about how to build a better 3D printer, how to use a 3D printer. Okay, the things are becoming a lot more easier to learn and to use, isn't it? Technology is improving, but how we are teaching the kids has to be changed. We talk about this. Giving a fish is bad, okay? And what? Teach them how to catch a fish. Okay? We think that's right. Yes, it is right. Yeah? Everyone agree? What if we change that to, okay, how to make a fishing rod as a maker education. But however, smart maker education, why catch a fish? Why catch a fish with a fishing rod? Yeah, we have a lot of tools, and we can discover new applications of these tools. Why do you catch a fish? We can do so many more things. It's the same thing as a fishing rod. Okay? So what if we can actually learn this many technology? We can find new applications of this technology. That is the true meaning of this smart maker education, the focus of smart maker education. And we can actually combine the virtual reality device with the big robotic arms. I can move the robotic arms by just wearing virtual reality device and the little triggers in my hand. How cool is that? So this maker education is not about learning the tools. Actually, it's about discovering new ways to teach the kids. And that will be our focus. And we are going to actually start building this maker education platform called WonderEDU. And we connect all these maker partners in the world. We're going to actually collect the data from them and make a platform called WonderEDU. It's going to focus on makerspace technology and the maker education. We're going to do design thinking education, STEAM education, and the maker education, and even more entrepreneurship education be taught in this K-12 environment. So we'll have a purpose for our education. That's what that means. And we'll have a lot of partners within it. Through this, working with these partners, we can actually create this change, make this change happen much more quicker. And we already have different partners working on this. And I'll have a big news coming out next month. I'm not gonna talk about it, but there's another one. We are publishing a book in Korea in November 14th. This is about thinker, tinker, and maker. And we are going to teach the kids, and we're going to have different books. And these books will be more focusing on how we think differently. Okay? Think, make, innovate, and together, us, if we work together, we can actually make a difference in the world. Thank you. That was pretty short, wasn't it? It was 30 minutes?
Yes, we actually have plenty of time for questions.
Yeah?
Any questions?
Yes?
So you've mentioned a lot of the initiatives you've created to impact education at the earliest stage.
Yeah.
What about when students come to university? So ideally in the future, by learning everything when they're kids, they can do that in college. But in the present, as a professor here, what have you done on campus to impact college students in this direction?
That's a great question. So I told you, I was able to make these maker spaces throughout the whole world. You know, there's one place I wasn't able to make a maker space. Nowhere. Yes. And I'm like, why? Because there's a lot of owners, over spaces, land and the buildings. I'm like, oh, I've been talking to a lot of people, how can we bring it here? I've been actually teaching a lot of people about this maker education outside of Purdue. How come I cannot bring it to our own, school? So I do have a plan for it, and like I don't want to like expose it, like yeah. But I do want to bring it to here. But when you talk about college education, like I talked about like the entrepreneurship education in the high school. What does it mean? We talk about startup entrepreneurship, like we try to push that to you guys, isn't it? But you never heard of it before entering the college in a way. You never had any ideas. Think about it. If you already have idea before entering the college, you would actually immediately start a company, not wait until like a senior year or junior year in the college. So the whole idea is like you want to decide what program you want to enter depends on what ideas you have. Because a lot of these ideas might be relating to like the software or engineering or like even business model, service design, like a lot of different finance. Like you may find out that you have a different type of ideas for the business model. Like business is really about making money. There are many different ways to make money. And if you know like what interest you have even before entering the college, you'll be deciding on like what you want to study in the college based on what you have, what ideas you have. Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for your talk. It was really, really inspiring. I am a graduate student here in computer education.
Yes.
I've also recently started a business, so I kind of understand.
Great.
My older brother in engineering education actually has a makerspace.
I need to work with you. Yes.
This is not what I did. But I think you make a good point in terms of. Hello, hello. Ooh. Okay, I think you made a good point in terms of the differences that students are going to have that have been exposed to these type of things. And as I'm thinking about the students that we'll be educating in the future, the students who have been teaching themselves through YouTube, the students who may or may not have already started a business when they get to college, I'm more and more interested in universities that are emerging in terms of having more project and problem-based curriculum.
Yes,
In the
yes.
sense where you don't come in thinking about like a major, but you come in thinking about like a problem you want to solve. Do you have any interest in those type of universities, or how do you see your makerspaces addressing that type of student?
So I actually talk about this. Like, I mean, we don't want everyone to become makers, engineers, we don't want to frame them. So we have to be careful, about how we teach them, and what kind of programs we offer. The problem, I see in Korea, the maker education became policy, and I feel guilty about it because I helped them write the maker education policy in Korea. And they are pushing this maker education in Korea right now. And they're going to build about 255 makerspace within a year. I'm like, you guys are crazy. Why? Because all this education, liberal arts and engineering and other type of education we actually provide at school, it's all important. And just for the example of liberal art, how the technology could be integrated into liberal art. That's what we are trying to see, not so much of framing everyone to become an engineer, framing everyone to become certain type of person. That's certainly not what we are looking for. So I think we should not have answers. So current education, A, B, C, D equals E. That's the current education. But in the improved education, this is a E. How can you make E with A, B, C, D? You combine different or multiply, and you try to make a E. The problem is we know the answer. When the students come up with the E, you're a good student. If they come up with F, you're a bad student. But in the new education, it should be more like A, B, C, D. Okay, make anything you want. It could be E, F, G, or even X, X, Y, I don't know what it is. So we should grade the students based on the process, not based on the result, outcomes. Because the current process of teaching, we graded them on the outcomes. In the new education, we should be grading them on the process and the efforts and the motivation. All that should be evaluated. So our evaluation method has been changed from what it is now. Evaluating based on outcome is not the best way to evaluate the grade of the students. So we need to think about how we grade the students. That's really the key challenge, because we are used to grading the students based on outcomes. Yeah.
Is there more questions?
Yes.
So I'm listening to this. I have a friend who's involved in maker spaces.
Yeah.
But in a way, it sort of sounds like a little bit of Back to the Future.
Yeah.
In that, like, what's the difference intellectually between maker spaces and shop class, what they used to have in the
Yeah.
50s and 60s
Yeah.
and 70s? Is it different? Like, does it have a different focus, or are you trying to inculcate a different kind of
yes,
vision or something like
yeah.
that?
So in terms of technology has been changed a lot. Like in the traditional shop, like we had a lot of analog tools. Now we are adopting a lot of digital fabrication tools, and IoT, like how to utilize the Internet of Things as well, in this environment. I'm not saying that traditional maker education is bad. We need to start somewhere, because of maker culture need to start with the maker culture, which is a hands-on experience. So I'm trying to offer more variety of maker education rather than just saying that this is the right answer. So that's one aspect. And another is a lot of time, even in maker education, we just the same answer. We have an answer. We try to kids to get to the answer. In traditional maker education, we show this new object. Can you make this object? We show them step by step. You do this cut, you do this, you do that. And now at the end, you have this perfect object that we started with. But the new way of is don't try to make this. If you actually make exactly the same, you're actually not following the instruction. You should make something else beside this, using the same process or technique, but trying to achieve something different than what I showed you. Yeah.
More questions? Okay, if no, let's please
Okay.
thank our speaker.
Thank you.